Hello everybody and welcome back to a new and especially unique video on my YouTube channel. I'm Nicholas and I think every YouTuber can categorize the channel in some way. Some are sports YouTubers, some are entertainment YouTubers, reaction YouTubers. I think I could be considered a gaming YouTuber, but also on top of that, a super massive games YouTuber. Because the majority of my content and edited videos and everything has been very centered around supermassive games and their very niche and wonderful horror games. And because that is the case, I feel like it would be very interesting to record me going through the official survey for the Dark Pictures Anthology that Supermassive Games has released. And I think this is always a good thing to ask the community what they think about the product and the content you are creating. And because I'm like mentioned a super massive games YouTuber, can you even consider anybody else that? It's again a very niche, you know, franchise that I love so much and has been fulfilling me with joy ever since Until Dawn. So it just feels really cool that I'm able to entertain so many people with talking about these type of topics. You know, I can literally sit here for 40 minutes and it will get over 1,000 views. That's crazy. And because of that, I feel like maybe it would be cool for some people to hear my thoughts as I go through the survey, and share what I think about it and all the type of stuff. And also, obviously, maybe some dev maybe will tune in because obviously maybe with an explanation on top of it, these survey results might become or might be clearer or better to understand, right? Generally, again, it's always great to ask for feedback. Let's do that. Let's give feedback. Let's go through the survey and see, yeah, what type of questions they're asking. Because I must honestly admit, even though I'm obviously a little bit biased, especially because it's about the Dark Pictures Anthology, I think Until Dawn and the Quarry definitely have their issues. I must honestly admit that all four games are really good for me. And of course, they also have the little things I would tweak. But honestly, there's nothing really huge straight in my mind where I'm like, I need to drop it here. I need to tell them that here straight up forward, okay? So, yeah, please select your country. We are from Germany. So let's see what do we have. Please select which Dark Pictures games did you play. All of them. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your overall experience with Dark Pictures games? 10 meaning that you like it very much, 1 meaning that you do not like it at all. So basically already a rating. Hey, they're taking my tier list video away here. Hey, I don't yeah, but so this is just a general question how much we enjoy the games. Now, I think one thing I can 100% straight away do is this. Yeah, House of Ashes for me, absolute incredible experience, my favorite experience of all the Dark Pictures Anthology games, 100%. What are we doing with the other titles? Definitely not a 10. It's like mentioned hard to categorize it now. Like mentioned, didn't like it at all, like it very much. I think for Man of Medan and Little Hope, which I would put into a very similar spot, given their more unique stories. Man of Medan and Little Hope generally very unique in their own way because Man of Medan has a extremely unique way the characters work and the way they're going through the story. And Little Hope obviously has a very unique setting and very unique story exploration. I think both are really, really nice, even though definitely a bit too much onto the jump scares, yeah. I think a 7 is more than fair for both. And The Devil in Me, in my opinion, a bit more enjoyable, but also still away from House of Ashes, so I think here is an 8. Very good. I think this is a very fair and very accurate rating, I'd say, at least for myself. What are the 3 most important elements to you in a Dark Pictures game? The story, the characters, the branching replayability, the deaths, the horror scares, the cinematics, graphics, bonus content features, the setting. Others, please specify. So, obviously the story is very important, right? The story is important in every single game. Obviously the characters, we have to click that straight away because obviously in Dark Pictures games, it's all about saving the characters. So if the characters suck, then you won't care. What happened with Taylor as example. The branching replayability. Now it's a bit weird we're putting this together Actually, never mind, because obviously the more branched a game is, the more replayability it brings. This especially thing about Until Dawn, right? Until Dawn is an incredible game, an incredible story, but it doesn't really have a lot of branching. There aren't really many huge differences in the story and the way you play it. There are some niche moments, but if you compare it to Man of Medan, then there is no comparison. Man of Medan is crazy. You could play Man of Medan 5 times and have 5 completely different results every single time. The Quarry actually did it much better than Until Dawn as well. So I think it's important, definitely. The deaths, not necessarily. It's a good accessory, right? Obviously, we all love cool deaths and gore and, you know, entertaining stuff like that, which is why I'm a huge fan of Dead Meat and the kill count. The horror scares, funnily enough, House of Ashes, which is my favorite Dark Pictures game, it's not that hard on the scares. Yeah, there was one that really got me good and had me flinch, right? I think the horror, the scares, obviously the horror itself is very important. Like, it still has to be a bit atmospheric as a horror game. And obviously anytime it's about death, it's basically becoming a horror game, even though Detroit Become Human, not necessarily, but not that important for me, honestly. Like, if there are not a lot of scares, not really, you know, that important for me. The cinematics and graphics, I mean, the Devil in Me looked insane. I remember, especially in the prologue, when we had the close-ups to the face. Wow. But I think, I mean, it's just a general thing nowadays, right? That the graphics keep getting better and better and better. But I would totally play a Dark Pictures game if it looked like a, I don't know, what could be a good example now? I would probably still play them if they looked like a Wii game. Obviously, I must admit, graphics definitely increase the enjoyability of games for me. The more gorgeous the game looks, the more I will enjoy it. That's 100% the case. But it's not that important. Now, bonus content and features, not necessarily. I have the main story, that's enough for me, basically. The setting is interesting, because obviously, what separates the games that much, because in the core, it's the same, alongside, you know, but that's where we now get to it. The story becomes extremely important, obviously, because if we have the same core game in the idea, then the story must be different to really have it be entertaining enough, or like to have it be really different from one another, and the setting on top of it. Yeah, I think that's definitely, you see, these are like the 3 core things that make a game, right? The setting, where is it happening? Until Dawn, in the cold mountains, Man of Medan on sea, Little Hope in this old witch town, House of Ashes in underground with soldiers and everything. Then the Devil in Me in the hotel, the Quarry in the summer camp, right? It's such a different setting every single time, which makes each of the games so unique in their own way, even though they all have the same core. And then obviously the story and characters come on top of it. These 3, 100%, at least from the things listed here, definitely the most important for me. Is there anything else I could specify? Not necessarily. I think these 3 are definitely the most important things for me to really make a Dark Pictures game stand out from one another. Because that's the thing, every game Supermassive Games has done, all 6, are standouts in their own way, even though they're all the same in some way. So that's a great thing. Please rank these Dark Pictures features. You need to use drag and drop here. Select the maximum 4 answers for each column. Favorite topics, least preferred topics. Local couch multiplayer, branching stories, playthrough, length, online multiplayer, collectibles, exploration, timed actions, choice and consequences, traits and relationships, 360 camera. Puzzles are annoying. I'm a very impatient person, and as soon as I need to like do puzzles that actually require that require immediate thought, then I'm already out. No, but like I remember, it wasn't necessarily a big puzzle, but there was a section, The Devil Me as example, where we had these similar to Resident Evil, where you had these in the library, where you had these things that you had to push around to progress, you know, that felt like such an unnecessary slowdown, right? You are there for 5 minutes, even though you need to just, you know, stuff like that is just unnecessary for me. Like anything that really, you know, like it was a bit to set attention and you saw that he was spying on you. Yes, I see that, but it just kind of slows down the game in a unnecessary boring way, because just nothing is happening in those moments, right? Now the other things for each maximum. branching stories is 100% a thing, because obviously one of the best things to do after you play a Dark Pictures game or Supermassive game in general, you want to see what could have happened, what would have been if I did that, and how would have that affected that and that, right? 100% one of the best things. Multiplayer is, I've never played a game of them as two thus far, or with other people together. Generally, rarely do that actually, outside of playing multiplayer games. But yeah, that's not that important for me. Playthrough length is interesting, because obviously Until Dawn and the Quarry are much longer than the Dark Pictures games, but even now in the DPA we have different length between Man of Medan's example and the Devil Me, with the Devil Me becoming longer than the previous entries. But ultimately, not that important to me. I wouldn't say so. Online multiplayer, obviously, yes, not as well. Collectibles, on the other hand, I find very interesting, because especially the totems on what means the totems, like the secrets in DPA are actually a bit different than what we had in both Until Dawn and the Quarry. I think I enjoyed them more, because I just like the way it were becoming, like a bit of an evidence collection and understanding for you for how the story went, or just to figure out more details. But even in the DPA games, I think the collectibles, the secrets you find everywhere, they're such an essential part, and it's always very interesting to see and check out, right? Exploration. Now, what do we mean with that exactly? Exploration in sense of that you're able to actually check a bit around as well. That you're like, don't just follow a straight path, but that you're like able to check there and there, maybe find collectibles. Not necessarily. Now, timed actions is something interesting, because quick time events are always fun. Keep calm events in combat and whatnot. Obviously, if we didn't have those, then things would, like, imagine that actually. Imagine the games would be slowly built on choices. That would actually be very interesting to see how that would work, because obviously there are many moments and many deaths where we're being chased, or where we get attacked. We need to hit a quick time event to prevent that from happening, or we need to keep calm to prevent being found, or fight in a moment to survive, right? Now imagine all of that wouldn't happen, and it's really all built up to choices you had before. So basically, if you didn't find a weapon beforehand, then you will die in that moment and can't defend yourself. No quick time event for you. So yeah, I think I put it in here simply because I think it's a very interesting topic, and it really makes everything just, it puts everything a bit together. Because if timed actions weren't there, I think it would still be very interesting, but it still make for a exciting experience. And then obviously choices, consequences. It's it kind of comes together, branching stories and choices and consequences in some way, because obviously your choices and consequences make the branching stories. But yeah, 1000%, probably the most and favorite thing about these games, because I want to see, what would have been, what could have been. Now, inventory is not important to me. 360 camera control, not really as well. Actually, Man of Medan didn't have that all the time, right? Where we had some fixed cameras, I remember that. Like, it's just basic game, at this point. And now traits and relationships, honestly, I've said it before, that relationships don't need to always be a thing. Like, we have one romance in every single game, and some even more. Traits, honestly, I must admit, I never really looked at those at all. Like, when we have these character introductions, we see the characters for the first time, they get like ambitious, blah blah blah, something like that, right? I never really cared for that, nor how your choices like change them. I must admit that I've never really paid attention to that, because I can tell it for myself what type of person that character is right now. I don't need traits to tell me that. So yeah, I think I'm totally fine with that. Now, do I need to now put something else in here? Do I need to? I don't think so. Puzzles is the only thing I really don't like. Everything else is just there. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's simple. No, I have not. Also, obviously, not sure why. Oh, never mind. You can obviously play with other people together. You don't need to own it to have it, but I own them all. What are the 3 main reasons for you to buy Dark Pictures games? Oh, review scores, community comments, time of year, story setting, or subgenre, price, friends, word of mouth, streamers, influences, owning the full series. Obviously the story, the setting, as I've already explained, right? Not necessarily because it's a horror game, because again, Detroit Become Human, similar game in like the DPA games, and just much crazier and polished and huge. So it isn't necessarily about the horror. And everything else, not necessarily. I'm the type of person that never cares for these type of things, by the way, for review scores and what other people say. I always create my own opinion straight away, or like build it just myself, and then go on it. Because I remember so many games, so many movies, people are like, oh, it sucks, blah blah blah, and then I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed the Star Wars sequels. Really had a fun time with all of them in the cinema. Far Cry 6 is a good example, or Battlefield 2042. Many people still find those games bad. I really had a blast with them, or still have a blast with them. So so yeah, from all the things you listed, this is really the only thing I'd say. So why am I buying these games? The branched paths and choices alongside basically puts it all together already, right? Like, these are my favorite, and the characters, and to discover new characters and grow towards them, to then either fall in love with some of them and then unfortunately get them killed. That's what really appeals to me. But yeah, that's the thing, right? You want to see the characters, you want to really grow towards them, and you want to have that excitement when you make them survive, or the depression when they die, right? Abigail, Erin, Kaitlyn. Oh, pain. But yeah, from these things listed, definitely only this and then what I wrote here. What information would most likely stop you from select the maximum of 3 answers? What information would most likely stop you from buying a horror game? The horror subgenre. If the game is horror, if the horror game is horror, no. But just like I said, nothing in here, Even if the story or the setting at first like wouldn't instantly interest me, like what would be a boring setting? Honestly, every setting has something appealing to it, I think there's nothing here that like would prevent me from buying one of those games. Not even a too high price, honestly. I mean, I bought the games. I think I remember buying the Quarry Ultimate Edition for 70. So yeah, nothing here prevents me from buying those games, and I don't think there is anything else that would prevent me from buying them. Yeah. Please answer at least one choice. There's nothing listed above or that I could think of that would apply to this question. Absolutely, literally, I seriously don't think that there could be anything that would have me not buy one of those games, unless it's like if it's, I guess you could say, too high price. If it's like, 500 or something, but like that's, the games would just be on 60, 70, something like that, and then it's totally fine for me. So yeah. You previously started that you own? Stated probably. Typo. The Devil and Me. What were the 3 main reasons for you to buy Devil and Me? You're a fan of the series and have bought the others 100%. Again, review scores, community comments, don't care about that. Story and subject matter, also very cool and intriguing, with the Jigsaw feelings and Saw flashbacks. Friends with the Mouth, not really, strong influence. I think trailer and advertising can be put onto it. Again, I would have bought it even without having watched anything. You could have told me, new DPA game coming at that date. Wouldn't have need to see anything about it. I will buy it still. But the trailers and the advertising was really good as well. You can definitely say that. So yeah. Could I put something else still? Never mind, it's in you're a fan of the series. I was about to write you. It's a DPA game, that's why. But yeah, I think these three are totally on point here. How much have we gotten already, by the way? Wow, we're not even halfway through. Oh my goodness. Let's speed this up a little bit. What is most likely to convince you to buy a Dark Pictures game in the future? You're repeating, right, huh? It's very similar to another, but yeah. Or in the full series. Not necessarily. It's like the maximum of 3 answers. Story and setting. What is most likely to convince you to buy a Dark Pictures game in the future? It being a Dark Pictures game. It's literally all I need. You're telling me, hey, new Dark Pictures game releasing on May 20th. I'm there. Pre-ordered. Don't need to see the cover. I don't need to hear a title. Don't need to see anything. I will buy it. Yeah, I'm eating out of your hand, basically. I'm in for it. I'm in, okay? Literally all you need. In terms of game length for a Dark Pictures game, what would you consider the ideal time for a single playthrough? Oh, that's actually... Again, I don't have the exact hours in mind. Again, Man of Medan and Little Hope were both shorter than House of Ashes, and then the Devil Me was longer than House of Ashes. I think Man of Medan and Little Hope were around 4 and 5. House of Ashes was around 5 and 6, and the Devil Me was around 7 and 8. Depends on how fast you play as well, though. It's difficult. Because again, the thing what makes the Dark Pictures games also a bit different to Until Dawn the Quarry is that the cast is tighter. Right? You have only 5 characters instead of 8 or 9, which some you will be talking about soon in a different video. Really gave them the opportunity, or better said, made it easier for them to make characters more equal to another. Yeah, I think the Until Dawn, the Quarry game, the biggest issue is the fact that the character bouncing is not as on point as in the DPA games. And they've done a good job with it in all the hours we've had thus far, so... I guess I'd say the middle, so between, like mentioned, 4 to 5, and the other one was 7 to 8, so 6, I guess. It's exact middle, I'd say. Yeah, I think that's a good number. When you know which is a Pictures game, do you buy it? Full price, on sale, sometimes even the Ultimate Edition, but yeah, full price, straight away. How interested would you be in playing? Very interested. Don't think I need to explain that one. What would you like to see in a Season 2 of the Dark Pictures Anthology? Select up to 3 features. More different endings, more playable characters, more deaths, death and exploration. Exploration? You mean like you're exploring around and you fall off a cliff or something? Like more multiplayer options, more exploration options, run, jump. I mean, if we do that, then we basically... Run is really nice, though. Running would be always good, you know, to just save a bit of time. But if you include jumping, then... Like, what... Do we want to turn the game now into, you know... just a typical... Like, do we want to make the game outside of the choices and the close-ups and everything, right? Where you're walking around with your character? Do we then want to turn them into the typical, you know... Where you can, like, climb and jump and everything outside of commands? Like, obviously we can do that still, right, where we press A and everything, but like to do it on your own, I could imagine would be really fun. Imagine you're walking around with Sam in the woods and then you can just jump and climb on trees or whatever. That would be funny. No more puzzles, no thank you. More of the Curator, honestly, always great. A longer and a shorter playtime. Again, I think this doesn't need to be shorter, nor does it need to be longer. I think we're in a really good spot already with the time. Now, when we look at what we have here, I think more different endings is something I can definitely go for. Because some more endings, you know, like when you build more endings, and it ultimately means you have to build more branches that get to that, and that means ultimately there will be more choices and more consequences, right? So they come together. More playable characters, not really. Like mentioned, 5 is a really sweet spot. I think they've done a good job in all 4 games as far to give us 5 characters that work well, even though in some games better than the others, right? I don't think it needs to be 6th or 7th, because again, then might be reaching a level like Underdawn or the Quarry, where we then can bounce them good enough. Because now imagine we remain in the current time we have for like 5-6 hours, but then add 1 or 2 more characters. I see what the issue is here, so not necessarily. Again, not sure what death and exploration means. There doesn't need to be more deaths either, honestly. Like, thus far, every character, like, Erin can die 20 times or something, right? Then depending on how long a character can survive or is plot armored, they have like 3 or 5 different deaths, right? Not necessarily. There doesn't need to be more deaths, I think. I think we're already in a good spot here. I mean, I always take more, right? I could take 10 different deaths for every character, why not? But, more of the Curator, 100%. I remember that, he was more present in Men of Medan and Little Hope than I think in House of Ashes, and in or the other way around. I think he was less present in Little Hope and more in Men of Medan. More the Curator, gladly. After every hour, 100%. Give me as much of him as you want. But of all the other things, there's nothing where we'd really say, oh, I need to see that. Like, would I like to see more depth? Sure. But this is something we could more specify, put instead. I would say yes, that feature, or yeah, that 100%. Not necessarily less romance. Is there something else where I would say that's what I really want to see? Again, more choices kind of goes into the more different endings, because they need more choices to get more different endings, so that's already included there. I feel like there's something right now that I want to add, but I can't think of it right now. What would I 100% want to see? Again, I'm open for so much. That's the thing, again, right? I'm open for anything. You don't need to know anything about a game or like a DPA game. I'm in for it. So, you know, it's like you can present me with anything you have in mind. I will buy it anyways, okay? As long as you keep the core, right? Yeah, so I guess call more devs, and yeah. Again, I could probably think of something right now, or like if I think about it longer, but like honestly, the DPA games, like mentioned, have done things, in my opinion, cleaner than Until Dawn and the Quarry. I think both of those games have a bit more flaws that could be changed, that I would like to see changed. But yeah, I think those 3 features: more endings, which means more choices, more of the Curator because Curator is freaking awesome, and more devs because devs are entertaining. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. But again, I feel like there's something. This is something else. Think. I have something. It's not necessarily something about the game itself, but I want to see more behind the scenes features. I remember Until Dawn had this incredible, you know, all these interviews with all the actors, and this entire thing with the Wendigo, where they really showed how they went into it, you know. There are still things like that too, but I take more, you know. Give me a 1 hour documentation of yes. Again, it's not necessarily the game itself, but like, for music as example, for K-pop, I'm such a huge fan of like seeing the progress, and like, you know, I can watch a 30-minute video of them being in the studio and discussing and idea brainstorming and all that kind of stuff. That's what I want to see. I want to see like 1 hour. I would watch a 1 hour video of the devs and the writers and everything sitting in a room together. They have the board, and they're figuring out stories, figuring out ideas, how that choice could impact all that, right? Because you obviously need to have these huge trees and everything where everything branches out. Giving more of that. Stuff like that. More behind the scenes. That's what I want to see. Because I would watch the hell out of that. I'd be so interested to be seeing the progress of how this is written. Because something I can also already say, I have still so many ideas and videos to upload and to edit and whatnot for the Supermassive games. We will run out at one point, but for now I still have a lot, and one of them would be rewriting sections of Until Dawn and the Quarry, example, you know, to make characters more balanced and stuff like that. And do you have any idea how difficult it is and how much you have to think? I want to see them doing that. Okay, 100% that. What would you like to see in the season 2 of the sector? Nope. Yeah, okay, then buy with the devs. Okay. What are your 3 main influences when purchasing a new game? Honestly, nothing. What's store exposure? You mean like Steam showing at me? I guess game trailers and again though. Oh, never mind. When we say new games in general, not just for DPA, then yeah, I'd say game trailers, advertising, definitely. You know, even again though, even here, not necessarily. You know, if you tell me, hey, Resident Evil 9 is coming out, I don't need to see anything. I know it's Resident Evil 9. I'll be there. Okay, I'm there. I'll be there no matter what. You know. I guess trailers and everything is still fun, but I'd say that's enough. If I'm allowed to. Okay, literally, again, there are some games and some titles where I literally don't need to see anything. Sons of the Forest example. I hear that the Forest sequel is coming out. All I need to know, I buy it, right? I'm that easy to get. I'm sorry. If you pre-order games, what is the main driver? To do so. Price promotion edition should be the first day one. Convenience pre-install. Pre-install convenience is really nice, I must admit, if you're able to, you know, to start as soon as possible, which I actually wanted to do back to the Devil Me, but was tired today, sadly. Exclusive Oh. Wait, I'm only allowed to do... Aww. I guess then that's still the most important thing, because I just want to play it as soon as possible, right? Like, exclusive content is always nice, but, like, I think the Quarry had these few features and the 80s outfits. Oh wait, were they free? I think so. But yeah, I'd say this is definitely the most important part. Just to play it as soon as possible. I just want to play the game, right? Approximately how many hours per week do you play video? That 100%. Like just last month, I think I played 150 to 200 hours or something of that. Oh wait, no, that's a bit too much. But still, there are more than enough times where I play 100 hours a week or something like that, which is for 7 days a week. Oh, even wait, never mind. Even 100 hours is too much. But there were weeks where it's been over 100 hours or something. But so yeah, we stick with that. But even then, I must say, by the way, even though I play so much, I feel like it's still so much to discover. It's insane. It's the same for music, by the way. I've reacted to so much on my music channel, it still feels like I can't keep up. Like next month, as example, Resident Evil 4 is coming out. A few days after that, The Last of Us on PC, which I can finally play now. I haven't continued my God of War playthrough project yet. There are so many games on the Switch that I could still be playing. There are so many story games I still want to play. All the Far Cry titles. So many other older games I've loved to play that I would want to play more. So many multiplayer games. I just can't keep up. I'm already feel like I'm dedicating all of my time to gaming and music, and I still feel like I've barely, you know, so much to do, so much you want to do, but just not enough time, just not enough energy. I think the latter especially. I feel like I would even be able to use the time I have better if I had more energy, but if you then only consume music and gaming, then it's difficult to get that energy, you know? Do you prefer to buy games at digital? Actually, interesting, because funnily enough, I still haven't started it, by the way. I have my physical copy of the most recent Pokemon game still laying around here, and I still haven't started it. I have this here now since early December. I still haven't gotten to start it, because I don't know. Again, there's so many other games I can be playing. Like, I want to play it, but there's also just so much other stuff I want to play, so I just haven't gotten to it yet, so, you know. For games like these, I actually like them physically more. But digital's obviously much easier. Like, especially on Steam, right? Like, you're able to just quickly buy something online, then boom. So yeah, digital is probably still preferred. Just very rarely I go for physical. physical collector's edition for Assassin's Creed games recently, as example. Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla, got them both. I guess I actually need to say no preference. It really depends. Sometimes I just do digital, sometimes I enjoy physical, sometimes I love a collector's edition as bonus because I like to have those stuff standing around, you know. So yeah, actually no preference, I'd say. Which of the following game systems do you usually play? Desktop computer, Nintendo Switch. Do I really play games on my phone anymore? Not really. I used to really play lots of Clash Royale and Clash of Clans, but not anymore, really. Here and there, older consoles, also not really, sadly. Also the thing, so my old Wii, Nintendo, and again, it's just so many games, not enough time. It's crazy. But yeah, I guess these two. Even though Nintendo Switch not that much anymore either, which is crazy because again, there's so much you could play, or I still want to play. It's I can't keep up, man. And you also then want to feel like, you know, now when I'm doing a gaming channel, I feel like I could make content about it as well, make videos to it, you know. But again, I don't have enough energy to record all the time. Which of the following type of games do you play? Oh, that's interesting. RPG. Pokemon is written there, so you know. Shooter also. Action. Yeah. I have very rarely played management and simulations, even though wow, even Detroit Become Human is written down here in narrative. Wow. Yeah, okay, I mean, now it's getting really difficult. I literally, oh my god! Up to 5? What do you mean? I play literally everything here. What do you mean? Actually, none of the games provided here, but like I've played Horizon Forbidden, like Horizon the first one already. I want to play also Red Dead Redemption 2. Do you know how many hours you can sink into that game? Where am I supposed to find those hours if there are 5 games like that I could be playing? Actually, nothing here. Like these 5 already apply. But then I here and there play Fall Guys. Oh no, I can. Oh, they won't let me go then. Okay, but I need to. I'm sorry. I also play FIFA. I love to play FIFA. I love to play career mode. Huge, look at that, Resident Evil, hell yeah. Actually, I've played a bit of Elden Ring, but not that much. MOBA, I've sadly spent thousands of hours on League, probably. Fuck puzzle, fuck puzzles. Hey, we'll be buying the new WWE game next month. I also love Valorant here and there. Wait, Battle Royale Valorant? What do you mean? Put Valorant up there. Valorant is no Battle Royale. What the hell? And even Survival, Sons of Forest yesterday, also, yeah. No, let me. I just play everything. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess I have to then rank what to the least. So, should I become human is cool though. Which one to take out here? Action platformer. I guess something like that. I guess, yeah. But again, I love Assassin's Creed too much. I need to include it too. Why would you do this to me? Wait, role-playing? Pokemon is a role-play game? Would you consider Pokemon a role-play game? Again, if Pokemon is written down, then I need to. I'm sorry, I need to. God damn it! How do I spend more time on a question like this than on some of the actual DPA related ones? Oh man. Then throw this one away. Okay. Action RPG is cooler than adventure, I'd say. Yeah, whatever. How often do you play in the following ways on PC console? Co-op multiplayer, playing with others, solo, competitive multiplayer. Very regularly, you know. Solo playing alone, also very regularly. Playing with others, rarely. I have one friend who I like to play with here and there, but really not a lot. I generally think that I definitely should start to play with some more people, whether it's Dead by Day with more people. League of Legends playing with 4 people together is a totally different experience, right? But yeah. How old are you? You take that as well. I think we've reached the end now, and now we're going to the basics, huh? That's so difficult. If you have any comments concerning the Dark Pages games, please write details below. I am currently recording a video where I go through the survey in detail. any additional thoughts that you may find interesting can be found there. It's on Nicholas Gaming. Yeah, if you're reading, if maybe Dev is actually watching this, who knows, would be cool. But yeah, if you have any comments concerning Dark Pictures games, just check my channel. Okay, there's still so many videos to come where I discuss these games, and again, it's such a privilege that I'm able to do that I'm able to just talk passionately about games that I'm really passionate about, and people watch it. It's so cool, right? And even to be able to make a bit of money with it, that's even the best thing about it, right? Lovely. That's because that's still the goal. Make my money with this channel, or like all of my money. Okay, we got it. 40 minutes of doing a survey together. Okay, like mentioned, not many people do this, right? It's definitely one of my more unique videos, but I thought, hey, why not? And even though I must say some questions felt a bit repetitive, and we then obviously went a bit in the end more into a general direction, right, and not that DPA focus, I think I still got enough chance to talk about the Dark Pictures games in general. And again, like mentioned, there's so many videos coming up where we will be going into even more detail than I did yet, or have done thus far, into the characters, and the things that the games do good, do not so good, right? I think all of that type of feedback is very important for them. So yeah, devs, check out all the stuff I've, done for Super Massive Games on this channel. Maybe not the Smash or Pass video, unless you're into that, right? But yeah, I said let's wrap it up here. This was my survey for the Dark Pictures Anthology. I hope y'all thought this was interesting. Leave your thoughts and how you answered the survey down below. And other than that, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to support me and enjoy what I'm doing. And other than that, we see you again with lots more of the Dark Pictures Anthology and Super Massive Games and so much other gaming content. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and happy. Bye.